Hello and welcome back to ARL Realistic. We are here for the Sunday tier, the penultimate race of the season, here at the Japanese Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we weren't able to host a race yesterday due to basic time issues causing a lot of withdrawals from the race. But we are back today with an even greater amount of drivers taking part, 18 for this one, which is absolutely fantastic. Nice to see people that weren't able to quite make it yesterday come and turn up for Sunday as well. So yeah, big thanks to everyone for understanding the situation yesterday. We really had no complaints. We did set up the lobby and everything and tried to get things going, but it just wasn't to be. But yes, welcome. We already have one retirement in this Japanese Grand Prix qualifying session. It's Y-Boy Lewis. He has crashed in the S section, I should say. A very challenging part of the circuit that will certainly not look very fun in these Williams cars, or feel very fun, that is. On board with FRA LMG on an outlap. We have drivers starting their laps now. Mr. Boca on his way back to the pit lane. For some reason it can let me choose this as a T-pod camera, which is weird. I don't think that's quite supposed to happen. We're on board with Florian as he understeers up Dunlop corner. And onto the Degners we go. Let's see how this Racing Point handles. Very much like the Mercedes W10 of 2019. It was a big talking point in that February pre-season testing of last year, which feels like an absolute age ago with everything that we've been through since. It's been about a year since Formula 1 last got racing again. It's been a full year under COVID restrictions. But a full house today for the Austrian Grand Prix, a full house in 2 weeks for the British Grand Prix. Everything is slowly getting back to normal, and that is fantastic for the sport, for everyone. So that's wonderful. Still watching Florian Foley through 130R and onto the chicane. He's run out of ERS deployment, so it's going to be a lot slower up to the line. 2 lap times have been set so far. Florian will be the third as he crosses the line and slots into P2 with the second fastest time of the session so far. I think next to cross the line will be a Mercedes who's on an outlap. The Hazard NFO. Everyone taking their time in this session. No need to all flood out of the garage. Here we go then, watching the Hazard NFO. We'll see how this Mercedes handles into turn 1. It should be a lot more glued to the track. Getting the power down through there. Very nicely driven F1 driver has gone to the top with a 1 minute 28.6 in the Williams. That is a very nice lap time at this stage. The Hazard NFO car gripping up a lot more through there. Mercedes W11. Late upshift there from Hazard. We've got some more lap times coming in. Pluto slots into P4 with a 1 minute 29.6. So he's a full second off that Williams. LMG slots into P2 with a 1 minute 28.7. So the quickest driver on the field. In the slowest car, occupies P2 at the moment. TRT Ruben in the Haas for today has invalidated on this lap. Mr. Boca has started another one. Y-Boy Jake on an outing as well. Back to the Hazard NFO, who has invalidated. But I think he can go again with the ERS that he's got. I don't think he'll run out of fuel on the flying lap. So we'll see what he can do properly. Watching Y-Boy Jake, who didn't have a bad week last time out. was up in the top 10 in qualifying last week in China. He crosses the line now. It's a valid lap. It's 1 minute 29.8. So he's very much at risk at the moment. I think that's TRT Ruben completing his banker lap there. So no harm in that. He's just got to make sure he doesn't go invalid on his next attempt. We have a spinner somewhere. It's the Hazard NFO. He's gone for his second flying lap and spun it at Degner 1. Graham on an out lap, just behind him, Mr. Boker on a flyer. He's run out of ERS and disconnected. And he's gone straight onto FIFA 21. I mean... And having a look at the tyres as well, LMG set that medium lap, lap time on the medium tyres. So that is particularly impressive. Sorry, Jesse Graham sliding through the hairpin there. He's on spoon corner now. And on the exit, can he straighten up? That is going to be an invalidated lap time. All four wheels over the white line. And he's going to maybe charge a bit of battery and go again. He's caused a yellow flag. So obviously no hazard on the track. He's just slowing down. But this game likes to make some weird assumptions sometimes. That was nice from Y-Boy Jake through the first sector, 2/10 up on his previous best. Turn 13 and 14 is known as Spoon Curve, and into 13 runs very, very wide of that apex, but has a nicer run through turn 14, and the Honda power unit here at Suzuka, it blasts now down the back straight towards 130R, where we'll see a lot of slipstream overtakes here. No DRS in this section, of course. He flies through 130R at 180 miles an hour, braking for turn 16 and 17, and then it's the kink of 18 that leads you to the line, and it's P7 from Y-Boy Jake. Those lap times from F1 driver and FRA LMG are extremely impressive. That is just how the driving differentiates, really. Matty Mumu, who celebrated his 18th birthday this weekend into Spoon Curve. Happy birthday to Matty Mumu for, I think it was Friday. It was Friday, yeah. So, the Crossy Road expert himself, through 130R, takes a tight inside line. Apex is pretty tidy. There's probably still a bit more room in there to squeeze a bit more lap time, and he absolutely obliterates the time set by F1 driver by a second. That's a statement from Matty Mumu. Well done on that lap time. Expilo, whose controller drift sent him into the barrier in last week's Chinese Grand Prix. He crosses the line, and we know he's going to be right up there with Matty. 1 minute 27.9 is his lap time. Let's see what Rundle can do. The Monaco Grand Prix winner 2 weeks ago on the Sunday, of course. He made an epic overtake on Atlantis J20 to snatch that race win away. It really was special. One he was certainly proud of. One that I was almost in admiration of. It was honestly spectacular, despite it just being a video game. Let's see how he compares with Matti Mumu. Rundle is on the mediums, the yellow wall tyre that nicely matches his car. Round the final corner comes LSJ Rundle. What lap times are going to be? It's solid. That's 1 minute 29.2. He's 5/10 off the Williams of FRA LMG, who's done lap time on the same compound. The Hazard NFO gets a lap time in, and that's good enough for third. 1 minute 28.0. It's just kind of proving how this reverse pace thing works. Florian goes into the top 10. He may well be safe for now. Actually, with two drivers no longer being in this session, really, there's not really much of an elimination fight. One extra driver is going to be eliminated, other than Y-Boy Lewis and Mr. Boca. So, Matti Mumu, he's seen that his lap time is far greater than what anyone else can achieve at the moment. He has retired from the session in the pit lane and should be safely through. Ties on a decent lap. We're on board with a Ferrari driver who's usually full-time for Saturday. Couldn't make it yesterday. But there's a Ferrari seat open for today, so he was more than welcome to come and join us. Almost 2/10 up. This should be good enough for P6, maybe P5 or above if he nails this last chicane. You know what? It wasn't bad, and the Dutch driver crosses the line now, and it is a good lap, and it is enough for P5. So yeah, well done to Ties there. 400ths of a second behind F1 driver. And I did mean to inform you earlier on in this session, it is going to be a fully wet race. So if you could get through from Q1 into Q2 on the medium tyres, you'll have extra sets of softs for Q2 and Q3. So yeah, that'll be extremely important. I'm in the chat now, so hope everyone's having a great day. Florian LMG retiring. That is going to be it, actually, because Florian retired on track. Yeah, that is going to be it. Everyone's acknowledged that that should be it for Q1. Because Florian crashes on track. That means he is guaranteed to be eliminated. Ruben can still be eliminated if he doesn't set a good enough time. We're actually going to go on board here with this lap with the Haas driver, because he will be eliminated if this isn't valid. Here we go, into turn 1. Lot at stake here for Ruben. Could all go wrong. Into turn 1, runs wide, but manages to rotate the car nicely through the apex of 2. Turn 3, lot of inside curb. The floor grazes that there, but the stability manages to keep it shaky. He's using a lot of the grass as well to assist in just heading the car through the corners. TRT Ruben then through the first sector. It's a 32-3. Nice Degner 1. A lot of grass, misses the apex of Degner 2. Just needs to get a lap time here that's quicker than 1 minute 29.2. Actually, no, because it's put Florian down into 15th with his crash. So that obviously means instant elimination if you crash the car. If you retire in the pit lane, it's all good. So you're in the pit lane with no issue. So again, watching TRT Ruben, most of the top 10 is pretty fixed at the moment. There's still those lower down who would like another lap. TRT Ruben up to the line now, taking the shortest route possible, and it's a good lap that puts him 8th quickest. That should just about do it. Y-Boy Jake is... I think that's going to be a session over. JSE Graham, now 16th of course, is the driver at risk. So, here's JSE Graham. He'll meet Y-Boy Jake on the circuit in a minute. Hopefully he'll get out of his way, because it doesn't look like he's pushing too hard. Shouldn't be affected too much from the dirty air from here. He does let him through. That was almost a collision. And could this be Graham's qualifying session over? Watch the lap time. It is good enough. And now Y-Boy Jake, who's going to be out of qualifying because he's hit the checkered flag in P16. That means Pluto is safe here. He's obviously now adjusting to that Alfa Romeo again. And with the added wet weather setup scenario that we've got going on, Pluto would ideally like to get himself some reference for the latter stages of qualifying, and he'd like to be holding on to some good track position throughout. Matty Expilo, the Hazard NFO, the top 3 in this session, followed by F1 driver Ties, Communist and LMG, who went through on the mediums. So it's a very, very good achievement actually to do so in that Williams. TRT Ruben, Gogglesort, and where does Pluto slot in? He goes 11th, but he is safe and sound in this session, and Q2 is coming up next. Order then. Obviously, we've gone through his top 10, Rundle getting through on the mediums as well, and out Florian, Jake, Lewis, and Mr. Boker, who will not be returning because he's gone straight on FIFA. So, well, nothing we can really do about that, but it is a bit frustrating when he's joined and then half a lap in, he just leaves for FIFA. But let's not dwell on that. "10 seconds until we'll be loading into the second part of qualifying, where 14 drivers will take part to try and get inside of the top 10. Green light for Q2 in the pit lane, and, well, everyone can try and just flat out get through on the softs, because there's going to be no strategical advantage by going on the mediums. You really might as well go all in, because it is a very, very close pack, bar maybe the top few drivers. First out is Aaron Ocon. The Mercedes out there as well. Gogglesort in the McLaren. Seen one McLaren on the podium today. Will we have another? Hopefully no race spoilers. I'm sharing it in it. I hope everyone knows the result or has watched the race, but oof, Gogglesort almost flies off the track on his outlap. Communist Envy as well. Big fan of Lando Norris. is probably experiencing some sexual feelings. Honestly, some of the things that he says about Lando Norris. You know, he probably gets excited over being in the McLaren for these races. Does suit his pace. As a McLaren driver last season, of course, and I believe the season before. Does it really go back that far? Can't remember, to be honest, but Communist really did improve over the course of the last season. In fact, we'll take a little ride with him. He's clipped the grass, doing some lawn mowing there. Flying down towards turn 1. There's a lot of cars scattered now around the track. A lot going through the first sector now. Get the telemetry and lap data run, shall we? We'll see the first drivers coming to the line shortly. I think first will be Aaron Ocon. No, because he has invalidated. I believe it will be Gogglesore following that up shortly. The Hazard NFO goes quickest on the mediums. 1 minute 28.3 is a very good lap. F1 driver on the mediums, 1 minute 29.1. So you can just see the difference there between the two cars. I think everyone's actually opting for a medium run here. 1 minute 28.1. Softs for Birmingham, 1 minute 28.6. Gogglesore 7th, Communist 6th in that McLaren. And then we look further down. Aaron Ocon, of course, crosses the line. He had invalidated his lap. Rundle on the soft compound tyres. These... Oh, that's wide. And that's hampered his run. Oh, and that was a very big save from LSJ Rundle. He slots into P6. I'm sure his heart just stopped for a second as that almost flew into the pit wall that sticks out on the right hand side. Fair play for keeping that under control, but that is a set of soft tyres wasted, to be honest, because he's going to have to improve that lap, and that might be quite difficult on that used set. Aaron Ocon, again, going for another run. P14 at the moment. 4 drivers get eliminated in the second part of qualifying. That's 3 minutes shorter than Q1. Q3 is 3 minutes shorter than Q2. Aaron Ocon is maybe getting a distant slipstream here from Communist, who is not letting him through at this moment in time. Aaron Ocon through the final corner. I'm sure he won't be too happy with Communist. Very easy to get distracted, and Aaron Ocon is at risk of elimination at the moment. P10 so far. That's LFO taking a different route into the pit lane, and it's side by side. JSE Graham around the outside of Pluto. What is going on? We've got racing going on here. Graham straight lines the chicane. Surprised he actually made that into the pit lane. Pluto comes in as well. Is Rundle going again? No, he isn't. He's boxing this lap. So 3 out laps going on at the moment. Expilo will be the first one to start a lap. He's on the medium tyres, LMG on the softs, and Ruben on the softs. So Expilo on board with him, down in towards turn 1 in the AlphaTauri, the other of the 2 Honda-powered teams on the grid. Honda initially powered Toro Rosso back in 2018 as a kind of build-up year to their new, rather quite remarkable partnership with Red Bull Racing, where in their third season they announced they're going to leave again, and this is by far their most successful of the bunch. It's quite surprising. Obviously, I'm pretty sure it was announced pre-season, and they didn't really know how their team was going to fare. But it really has been a strong partnership, and their reliability has much improved since the days of McLaren Honda from 2015 to 2017. But enough Honda chat. Purple middle sector for Expilo. And into the final couple of corners. A lot of lag there, but I think he's made it through cleanly, and he's going to power up to the line, and it's going to be the third quickest of the session. 2/10 gap from Matty to Hazard, 2/10 gap from Hazard to Expilo. Next across the line soon will be LMG, who is currently, obviously, in the bottom 4 because he's yet to set a lap time, but he's gone to the soft tyres here. He had a very good medium lap in Q1. Does mean he has an extra set to play with, so he might as well try and get himself safely through on this set of softs. How's the chicane looking? Not bad, you know. Through the final corner. And crossing the line is fastest by 0.2 of a second over Matti Mumu. It's a very nice lap indeed. Next cross line will be Ruben, who's run out of ERS. It's going to be a slow one for Ruben. In fact, slowest of all the lap times so far in Q2. 1 minute 29.8. Gogglesort going again, and that's no surprise. He's now gone for the soft tyre. It's been slowest for a large part of this session before Ruben chipped in with the slowest time. Communist MV did a 1 minute 29.3 for McLaren on the softs. Gogglesort has something to aim for, maybe even shatter. Let's have a look at this middle sector. It's purple, 6.8 tenths up, and this could be a very good lap that gets him well into the top 10. Down on power to the line though. No more ERS deployment for this lap. And he goes P6 with a 1 minute 28.8. So 5 tenths ahead of his teammate for today, Communist. LMG heads into the pit lane. Communist MV is actually starting another lap. So got a bit of a McLaren viewing session going on here. See how 2.5 tenths up in the middle sector. This will put him into the top 10 as it stands if he can just complete the final chicane. And up to the line, P7, and about a tenth off his teammate. Let's watch. Pluto is on a flying lap. He's now at risk of elimination, but his first 2 sectors so far have been good enough. They are good enough, and he goes P8. So the main driver at risk now is Jesse Graham, who, unironically, has just headed out onto the track to try and better his current lap time. Aaron Ocon's gone for the mediums again. He's down in his first sector on his personal best, and if Aaron Ocon is serious about getting into Q3, he'll box this lap and go for softs, because he's nowhere near getting out of Q2 at the moment. And in that racing point, the third quickest car, Mercedes engine in the back. No flexi wings in this game, of course. Just odd physics. And Aaron Ocon does come into the pit lane, and this means he will go straight back out onto the soft tyres, unless he's asking to get eliminated here. Communist MV and Pluto soon heading back to the pit lane. On outlaps, GSE Graham. On an outlap, F1 driver, who's now down in 12th place, and Ruben as well needs to pick up that pace. The Hazard NFO's retired. He thinks that's enough. LMG's actually gone again. He's come out again for another run. Most drivers that have actually come out again, so that's interesting. Graham has aborted this lap. Is he out of fuel? Can't be. It's going to be low on fuel. This could be Graham's qualifying session over if Rundle, F1 driver, Aaron Ocon improve on their laps. There's 1 minute 10 to go in this session as we watch on. Ruben has slowed down. This lap has been aborted by him. Expilo looking for a quick lap to get himself prepared for Q3. 2 tenths up on his first sector. Nicely done through the second Degner. I like that. Using both curbs to great effect. And now the hairpin holds it in second gear. Really good traction off of there. And now he heads through turn number 12, which undulates and then rises, and then you reach Spoon. Nice amount of inside curve. Just has to lift off the throttle there, get himself set up for the second part of the corner, and now blasts down the back straight. You rise above the other part of the circuit. Remember, it is a figure of 8. Very unique circuit for that reason. 12 out of the 14 drivers on laps at the moment. Expilo crosses the line and does a 1 minute 27.8, and that puts him fastest and surely safe. Graham's session is over. Who have we got next to cross the line? It was F1 driver who's knocked Graham out here. HDV Ties is the new driver at risk. F1 driver goes second for Williams. LMG third. Ties crosses the line and he goes up to P6. Surely he'll be safe with that. LMG crosses the line and goes 2 tenths faster than Expilo here. Burning Man, can he get himself into Q3? I don't think this lap will be good enough. No, he's down on this lap. Next across the line is Aaron Ocon, who goes ahead of Burning Man. Then comes Gogglesaw, who goes 7th. Then comes Rundle. Sorry, no, that's Matty Mumu. Then it will be TRT Ruben, P8. Then LSJ Rundle. Can he knock Burning Man out of the top 10? Yes, he can. Burning Man is out of qualifying. Communist next to cross the line. He needs to lift himself out of this. And did he? He's P11, I believe. P11 for Communist. Wasn't able to make it. And there we go. Pluto scrapes in only just, as does Rundle and Ruben. Fair play to Ruben after that first lap. So close between the Hazard NFO and really all the way down to Burning Man. And then Graham kind of in a little section of his own there. But Matty with a blistering 1 minute 27.1 tops Q2 as well. Was he the favourite for pole? Find out very shortly. Green light for Q3. We're loaded in and ready to go. This is it. The fight for pole. The crucial fight for pole that will determine the grid for a fully wet race. No other words for it. Matty Mumu is the first out on track. He'll be the benchmark for this session. Here we go, Matty Mumu, show us what you can do. DRS open, then he starts the lap. The timing is underway. This is what counts. Down in towards turn 1. He turns in about 50 metres, maybe a bit later. Just easing the car through the slightly banked corner. Oh, look at that change of direction. There's a little bit of an understeer. You do notice it when watching the Renault. Oh, that's wide. And that will cost him some time. He needs to get that sorted for his second lap. I think that purple sector has already been wiped away from him. And understandably so after some of the moments he had there. That's another Renault of LSJ Rundle. Just behind him on the circuit. I like these nice wide shots you get to see at Suzuka. Really does give a nice sense of speed. You can just see the elevation changes on the circuit as well. Really does make for a nice spectacle. Into the final chicane comes Matty Mumu. Still got some ERS to play with. Up to the line. He'll benefit from this because drivers haven't been saving their ARS too much. 1 minute 27.4 is the time to beat. Rundle was invalid, but 5/10 slower First across the line out the two Williams is F1 driver. He's 9/10 slower. Then next across the line is Gogglesaw, and he's slower than F1 driver. Next across the line is Mercedes of the Hazard NFO. He goes second. LMG on an out lap. Then next up, it's Ties to cross the line, and he goes P3. That's rather impressive. Some drivers still starting a lap. Pluto currently on one. See what lap time he can put in. He's in this top 10 shootout, but it's slowest with a 1 minute 29.1. That Matty Moo time has just obliterated everyone. That Red Bull is overpowered. Not Red Bull. Brenner is overpowered, isn't it? Expelo goes P3 with a 1 minute 27.7. Remember, there was a lot of time for Matty to find visibly in that first sector. It didn't seem perfect. LMG, we'll see what he can do. His main comparison is F1 driver, because that car's going to be a whole lot worse in the wet, considering we haven't really had a proper chuck it down race for its entirety. Oh, that's Gogglesaw pulling off last minute. That shouldn't be too much of an issue, considering it's flat out all the way to this braking zone. Turn 16, 17, and then 18, the final corner. It's just a straight kink to the line, and it's a 1 minute 27.9. So he's into the 27s. Not done a bad job there. Next up is Ruben. 28.2 is his lap. We're halfway through the session already. The Hazard NFO on another lap. Kind of got out on the fresh tyres already. Doesn't seem to be having the greatest of times keeping it stable through the first sector. It's climbed up Dunlop corner well. He's down on his personal best. That's an invalidation, surely. He got that totally wrong. It is invalidated. And now nobody is on a flying lap for us to really observe. So we'll wait for the final runs. It's a car heading into the pit lane. It's a Williams. FRA LMG it must be. And TRT Ruben heading down pit lane as well. Skies are clouding over. It's a hint to what's set to come in the race. The quiet is broken. The Hazard NFO ventures onto the circuit. And he will be the first one around to start his final flying lap in the Mercedes. It's quite high expectations of what people do in a Mercedes. Hazard has put in a lot of prep over the season. He's an improving driver. I really do think he's, if he is to race here on the next game, we'll see a lot more from him. Hopefully getting into the more upper tiers of the league. You know, himself, Jake Lewis. They are respectable drivers, and I know there's often a lot of jokes like, oh, they're the Y boys, you know, they just crash a lot, get all the penalties. It's not like they complain for hours on end after a race. They just want to get better, they want to improve. And that's a great thing, in my opinion. I think Hazard is kind of living up to that. He has performed well so far today. And let's see what he can do then. In the Merc, as he crosses the line to start a lap. He shouldn't be held up too much. He's got a nice gap in front of him. Down in towards turn 1. It's really got overcast. So could this affect the track conditions maybe? It's a type of clouds where you expect to see spits of rain. That's a nice first sector from Hazard. We'll see what his time is like. Oh, 2/10 up. Keeps it well managed through the Degners. Nicely done. And we've got Y Boy Lewis cheering him on in the chat. Nice to see you, Lewis. And out of turn 11, through turn 12, it has been a nice lap so far, and that is a fact. This could be a competitive one. He's wide of the apex. Can he retrieve that speed? We have a spinner. It's LMG. He's off on his flying lap. LMG will not be challenging for pole. Driver's going to start bunching up here. They've got to watch out. Pluto pulls off the track. Hazard brakes in a straight line, nicely gets it slowed down, and the Hazard NFO out of the final corner. Is this going to be enough for a provisional pole? It is! The Hazard NFO goes on to provisional pole position. Pluto starts a flying lap. There's yellow flags in all sectors. I think it's absolute chaos at the moment. Who else have we got next across the line? I think it's Rundle. Starting a flying lap. Then next up, it will be Expilo. F1 driver it will be. My bad. Can F1 driver put an end to Hazard's current reign of provisional pole? His current title of provisional pole. He's 2/10 up. This is not going to be enough for F1 driver. Mercedes have really been lacking on the points front. They've really been lacking on the pole positions front. It's 5th for F1 driver as he crosses the line. Next up will be Matty Mumu, who's invalidated. Matty Mumu has invalidated his lap. LMG is retired. It is down to you, Expilo. He only goes 2nd. And surely this is going to be a pole position that belongs to the Hazard NFO. Can you believe it? What an achievement that would be. We still have lap times at the moment. Gogglesaw has retired. Pluto still on a flying lap. Could Pluto be the man that ends this? No, he's too slow. It's only Rundle that could stop Hazard from being on pole position. And he's failed to do so. The Hazard NFO takes pole. He will lead the start of a wet Japanese Grand Prix. The Hazard NFO. Take a bow. Well done. He is in the quickest car. But that is far beyond our usual expectations of AlphaTauri pole, Renault pole, Williams up there. That's far beyond the normal. So, well done to Hazard for taking that. Credit where credit is due. Formation lap about to get underway. Everyone will be fixed to those wet compound tyres. That is just the level of wetness. That's not a word, is it? That we're going to be racing. Who's looking forward to this then? Soak it all up, because the Hazard NFO will occupy the top grid slot. Exceptionally good qualifying. I told you he'd be up there. Just the words of wisdom that has pushed him along. Burning Man is the only disqualification so far. Florian and Jake joined him, and that's all going on at the back. What is going on? Mr. Boca isn't actually in the session. Tyes has been off the track. He should be 6th place. He's got some work to do to push himself back up the order. This could be a long race. So strap yourselves in. 27 laps of Suzuka in the heavy rain. Sounds like Last Man Standing challenge video. Heating those tyres necessary. Pad player, the Hazard LFO, will lead pad player Expilo, and wheel player Matty Mumu, and wheel player LMG, and wheel player F1 driver as the top 5. Hopefully this race won't disappoint in a good way. Hazard slots in to that first place grid slot. We're all lining up behind. Y-Boy Lewis, 17th in the other Mercedes. Here we go then, the 5 red lights coming on now. So we get ready to rev it up. Disconnected drivers. What's going on with that racing point? No, it's got itself back into position. Oh god. Not now. Well, this is an issue. This is quite a grand issue. I believe it's ties. Oh, we're revving it up! We're about to get racing! Oh, F1 drivers jump the start. It's lights out. Away we go. This could well be chaos as they've been sitting on the grid for an absolute age. F1 driver is struggling to keep it in shape as into turn one we go. He slid off the track. He's gone absolutely flying. F1 driver sent off the road. HDV Ties has done so as well. The Hazard NFO leads from Expelo and LMG. Then comes Matty Moo, who's looking to go around the outside already. Yellow flag in sector 1 that's been cleared quickly, and I think it's side by side between Aaron Ocon and Communist, and there's a spin for LSJ Rundle. It's absolute chaos coming up Dunlop corner, and well, just watching all of this now. F1 driver's race is practically done already. 24 seconds off the pack with the drive-through penalty as well. You might as well make that about 45 at this point in time. Yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. Again, quickly cleared away. The yellow flags do like to be glitchy on this circuit. Yellow flag again. Yeah, there's nothing going on, so we'll ignore those yellow flags until an actual spin is spotted. Matty Moo around the outside of LMG into turn 16, and he's got that one done. Matty Moo, nice driving from him. Rather chaotic opening lap. Graham ahead of Aaron Ocon. Into the pits comes Florian. Aaron Ocon on Graham. That's contact. That's front wing off one of the cars. Graham on the outside. Is it Graham with the front wing damage? I can't really tell. Wide goes Aaron Ocon, so it might be him. Yes, right hand side. Aaron Ocon has front wing damage on his end plate. Expelo putting a lot of pressure on the Hazard NFO. How long can he stay in the lead of this race? F1 driver retires in the pit lane. It's only taken him a lap to be out of this race. We're on lap 2 of 27. Expelo has the run. But where will he emerge? He's on the left hand side. Oh, he's got through with some superb traction, it seems. Bit unorthodox, but he's taken the lead of this Japanese Grand Prix. Hazard using a little bit of overtake just to try and stick with the AlphaTauri because he needs to avoid not tumbling down too many positions. The race is still on for Hazard. I mean, these guys are a lot more probably experienced and quicker when it comes to the wet conditions. Hazard was quickest in qualifying. It's a whole different sport, F1 driving in the wet than in dry. It's a completely different challenge. Got to nail absolutely every lap. We do have a yellow flag and there's certainly a spin. Aaron Ocon is around and is basically forced to come into the pit lane. I'm not sure if he was intending to. He does have front wing damage. Will he retire and call it a day immediately? Let's see, but We've got Jake's retired. Jake's actually crashed, so this could cause something. Safety car deployed. Oh my god, that was close between Matty Mumu and the Hazard LFO. Safety car deployed, and that neutralises the race. F1 driver's probably rather disappointed that he left on lap 1 because there's a safety car on lap 3. The safety car is reached by the, not here, Mr. Boker. The fact that Expelo is 40 seconds off the actual safety car because it picked up Mr. Boker could be an issue. I don't think it will be, considering the rate he's catching up at, and there's no delta at the minute. Aaron Ocon's joined back. I didn't realise he left. My bad. He's probably been invited by someone maybe in the chat. So sorry I missed that. But yeah, shouldn't be an issue with the rate he's catching up at, and there's no delta anymore, as I was saying. There's no more on-track hazard. Actually, there is one. He's right here in second place. He managed... he was under a lot of pressure from Matty Mumu, but the safety cars come out at a good time for him to manage his race a little bit. We'll be reaching the safety car shortly. It's just a bit weird seeing the safety car leader here, basically, without a safety car, because, yeah, Mr. Boker got a minute and a bit head start. He almost lapped the field. But yeah, that's all sorted now. Mr. Boker will drop quickly down the order. You know, he could join back and take the lead of the race. Obviously, he'll be in a lot of trouble if he wasn't to let anyone through. Considering he went on FIFA when I went to invite him back. He's definitely playing pro clubs. Let's have a look. It doesn't say, but I think he's in a big party, so that probably suggests a form of pro clubs. You watching Indy? No. Well, thanks PFL Solberg, but I'll take a picture of exactly what I'm doing and show him. I don't believe we're in this lap, considering the field is not fully caught up. Predictions for the rest of the race then. Nice to see the viewership's picked up a bit. What's everyone's thoughts so far? Who have we actually got here? I can see who's watching. Nightbot's watching. Nice to see you, Nightbot. Aaron Ocon's chilling, watching this, I believe. Probably got it onto the side of him just to kind of see what's going on. People do that. It's quite fascinating that people just have the main stream on next to them. I could not do that because suddenly, you know, I notice when it's like on me, I'm like, oh god, everyone's watching me, and they tend to be like quite decently viewed races for like ARL and stuff. So it's 20-30 people like watching me try and overtake a spastic. Not a spastic, but if I don't overtake them, people be like, haha, you didn't overtake. That was mean saying spastic. I do apologise. Don't cancel me. Hopefully we get racing this lap. Unfortunately, we don't have the points available to us for this week, but I'm sure they've been done. I'm sure they'll be ready for release next week. But yeah, Expilo, I believe, is the champion-elect. If he was to finish this race. Hopefully we're in this lap. If not, we've got a big issue in the game. Crossing line, safety car line, and oh my god. Is that damage for Expilo? Oh, you've got to be joking. Oh no. It's all kicked off. Hazard's got damage. Expilo, does he have damage? Expilo doesn't have any damage, but the Hazard NFO is into the pits. His race is practically over. We're green on lap 7 of this race. I'm not too sure what happened there, but Expilo leads ahead of Matty Mumu in second. In third place is LMG, then comes Gogglesaw, Pluto, Communist, and Pluto goes down the inside of Gogglesaw. That was almost contact. Just had to back out of that one on the inside of turn 2. Did Pluto. Ties has overtaken Aaron Ocon. Ruben pits as well. The Hazard NFO is leaving the pit lane now. And Y-Boy Lewis in the other Mercedes has crashed out. So Jake and Lewis have managed to find the barrier. I think in identical spots as well. I think the Hazard is now clear. I mean, the actual on-track one. It's interesting. Top 3 this. Spilo from Matty from LMG. 20 more tours of the circuit in this race. It's going to be a long one, like I said. LSJ Rundle and Burning Man. Rundle's got the inside line heading down into 130. Rundle edges his nose in and he takes that position. Burning Man slides off the track. This is going to put him under pressure from Florian, who gets through. Let's try and get tyres back in. Expilo sets the fastest lap. He leads the way, but with a 5-second penalty that's easily removable. Should be okay for the time being. Let's watch JSE Graham because he's right up the gearbox. And we have a spinner. Is it Burning Man? It is. He's met the barrier. He's still in the race. Trying to get out of the gravel trap. Ooh, carefully he doesn't spin it around again. Burning Man is back on the circuit. And underway again. Good exit from Graham. Will he poke his nose in? Right hand kink. Then looks to the inside. Not quite. Rundle's waiting in the wings as well. The hazard NFO's gone off as well. I think Burning Man's gone on for a second time on this lap. So a lot of the lower ranked virtual safety car. And this neutralises the race once more. It shouldn't be a long one because both of the spinners there have actually got out and are all good. Are all good again, but. Hazard is out of the race. Into the pits comes LMG. Now, this is interesting. I'm sure this... Is it for more wet tyres? No, there's front wing damage on that. And he got a penalty as well. So this is his penalty being served. This is a front wing change. So all in all, this stop is going to be about over 10 seconds. Away he goes. So it's about 12 seconds there, that pit stop also. Ruben is around. So a lot of drivers really getting caught out by these wet conditions. Away goes Ruben again. Ty's not back in the session. Will Graham go down the inside? No, it turns into the outside. He could make a nice switchback here, Graham. And it's a nice switchback. This outside line. We've seen Expilo make an overtake here for the lead before in this race. And Communist just has to back out there. There's a little pinch there on the inside. And through turn 13 and 14, Graham gets up into P5. Next up, Rundle for overtaking Communist. Oof. Rundle had a huge snap there in Q1, I think it was. If not Q2. Another one there in the rain. Not as big though. All Communist runs wide. Not enough room though for Rundle to capitalise. Communist runs a bit wide now. And Rundle does get in front on the exit of 2. Has Ruben gone into the... Oh, Burning Man has a huge spin there. Just as we were watching Ruben. And Ruben's around again. I think he's deliberately trying to drift this around the circuit, but... Okay. We're on board with Pluto as we've got a battle for the final podium position. Gogglesaw has absolutely been rinsed by those front two drivers who have just gone. Now, Pluto is looking to take his spot in third. No DRS to play with, of course. Oh, what an exit from Pluto. He's through into P3, but Gogglesaw will try and fight this one back because he's using his safety car, and that's Burning Man that has crashed out. It's the second safety car of the afternoon. It's the end of Burning Man's race. Both Red Bulls out and both Mercs out of this one as well. Safety car will take us to about the halfway point of the race. Still Expelo from Matty. Pluto made his way up into P3. Then comes Goggle, Graham and Rundle. 2 Renaults, a Ferrari, a McLaren, an AlphaTauri and an Alfa Romeo in that top 6. Communist and another McLaren in 7th. Had a Florian, LMG, the one remaining Williams and Aaron Ocon. Expelo heads on into the pit lane. Now he's got a 5-second time penalty to serve. And these drivers are all boxing. Surely it's for another set of inters just to get through to the end. Yeah, Expelo has this very unfortunate penalty to serve and he's going to lose the lead to Matty Mumu. We're all queued up behind the safety car as the rest of the pack arrive. Other drivers that went into the pits, Goggle, Graham, Rundle. LMG had pit a couple of laps ago, so he's now back in the race in a nice 7th. Florian pit, Communist pit, Mr. Boker's AI pit. So that does suggest it was about time for a change of tyres. Definite one stop. I don't think the track... It might well improve to intermediates, but that'll be a very big gamble because, as I'm told, it's heavy rain for the whole thing. So it could worsen again in the blink of an eye. You never really know with this game. Not yet ready to go in, but another lap and we should be ready to go. We're starting lap 13 here behind the safety car, and we'll reach the halfway point of the race through this lap. 13 down. well, 12 down, 15 to go. The end of this, it'll be 13 down, 14 to go. You can't halve 27 to a perfect integer, but Matty's the maths guy. 13 and a half laps is what we'll need, so it'll be the start on the next lap actually that will reach the halfway point, because we would have completed 13 and then a half. There we go, maths complete. Should be racing very, very shortly. We aren't in this lap, and that will be down to Ruben, who has not yet joined the pack. So yeah, still behind safety car. I mean, there's not really much to talk about. There were no penalties last week in the race. Ruben is now joining the pack, so race at the start of lap 15 then, with 13 to go. Still a long sprint to the finish. Trying to work out how long we've been racing for already. Yeah, just look at those lap times. 2 minute 43 on lap 12 for Matty Mumu. You can blame the pit stop for that one and the safety car. But yeah, these are the kind of lap times we're running under the safety car. About 2.5 minutes per lap. So ultimately it does feel like a long one when racing in the wet and behind a safety car. Here we go, finally. We can race once more. It's felt like an absolute age since I've seen a green flag, so it's going to be exciting. Matty Mumu now has the lead by fortune of Expelo's 5-second time penalty in the pits. So it's kind of shaken things up. I think we've seen some penalties now for Florian Communist, and I think Aaron Ocon picked up a 3-second penalty at the start of the safety car, but Matty chooses when to go. It's all on him. Takes a nice wide line. Oh, there's a little bit of wheel spin for Matty Mumu, and we're underway once more. Once more, Expilo in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to pass Matty Mumu on this start-finish straight? Pluto having a little look as well. Not quite. Position stay as they are. Pluto has a little look. But again, backs out. Similar to what he did on the previous safety car restart. Up towards turn 3 we go then. And Rundle, we're on board with P6 at the moment. Is he going to have a little look and try and take back that position that Graham took off of him? Rundle getting loose. FRA LMG getting loose. Florian, who had a little bit of drama in the first race with a bit of a glitch onto the safety car where it just started to drive into everyone, is running in P8. LMG getting a bit loose again there. Communist is around, and Communist is off into a big spin, and he will rejoin last of the running cars. The gap has opened up a little bit from Expilo to Pluto, which is absolutely what we expected. Oh! Not another one! For Christ's sake! Safety car deployed for the 3rd time. Oh! It's going to be a 2-hour stream at this rate. Oh my days. Welcome back to the safety car here in ARL Realistic. It's nice to have your company. Oh my days. Genuinely, the more safety cars there are, the less I have to talk about. Well, it's not going to be this lap we race. We're about to start lap 17 of 27. You have a safety car. You can have a safety car. Everyone can have a safety car. Prime entertainment right here. We follow the silver Mercedes AMG safety car. Stream time at the moment, 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half. We usually have, I'd say, an hour 40. For comparison, last week was an hour 44. So we are definitely going to surpass that. The remaining laps won't take half an hour, but if we reach 2 hours at all, that would be impressive to some degree. The race time is going to be absolutely nuts as it shows up when the eventual winner crosses the line. Will it be Matty Mumu? Will it be Expilo? I don't think that penalty for Expilo is actually eligible to be removed, considering the safety car scenario. I'm not too sure. Safety car is in this lap, and it'll be Matty for the second time in a very short space of time that will lead us away to the green flags. 10 drivers still in the race because Tyes and Mr. Boca are not in. And here we go. Matty Mumu leads us away for the green flags once more. Will Expilo have anything to fight with into turn 1? No, not quite, but LMG has got ahead of LSJ Rundle. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. Rundle on the outside. He emerges still alongside the Williams. Will he have to back out here? Yes, he will. Nice move there from LMG to get himself up into 6th place. And now got his sights set on the top 5 pack. The tyre wear on the Williams, so it won't be too bad. It'll be worse than everyone else's. But a lot of those laps are under safety car, so it shouldn't be too big of a disadvantage. Expilo lagging quite a lot. Suddenly turned very, very bad, and it's actually quite nauseating to watch. So we'll watch Pluto as he negotiates maybe a little battle behind. That's Graham, actually. He had a look for just a moment there. Battle for P4, looking quite tasty. We're on board with JSE Graham in the Ferrari. Down towards 130R, 8th gear, practically pointless, as you can see. Can still hold it flat though through there. Matty Mumu sets the fastest lap of the race. He leads Expilo by 9/10 of a second. He's not been able to stick with Matty. Oh, Rundle and LMG, the opposite of the previous lap. Rundle gets that position done exactly the same way LMG had it done on him. And now Rundle closes up a lot to the back of Graham, forming a nice little train here for P4. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Please no, Aaron. Please do not cause the last of the safety cars we can have in this race. Expilo, a second behind Matty Mumu. We have an overtake. LSJ Rundle down the inside of Graham. Oof, a lot of contact through there. Could have easily resulted in them both having a spin. Graham almost is in a spin there. We undulate through turn number 12. But no issues ongoing. Florian runs in P8. Has had a cleaner race as Rundle on the exit of Spoon has gone up into P4. And Gogglesaw drops down to P5. Rundle has found some pace. That's great to see. He's now going to be charging after Pluto. I'm sure he's very confident he has the better pace. 6/10 now between Matty Mumu and Expilo. 8 laps to go. 19 down. 8 to go for the 27. To the hairpin of turn 11. Very tricky corner, especially it's a little off camber. Ruben ahead of Florian. LMG fighting with Graham and goes off the track. LMG has dropped 2 places in the fight with Graham. Graham runs wide and spins. Graham's off into a spin. And did that collect the front wing of Ruben, who is now side by side with Florian. Florian up into 6th place now. After all of that, Ruben still trying to fight alongside the Racing Point. Has to back out there a little bit and runs wide. Aaron Ocon with another 3-second time penalty. Ruben's got the run on Florian. Ferrari engine versus Mercedes engine. 2 of the customer teams in Formula 1 go side by side. And Ruben has to back out of it slightly though. Oof, another drift through there. Graham's onto the intermediate tyres. Well, that's surprising. The first driver we've seen to touch the intermediate tyres today. And just see Spilo following Matty's lines closely. Got some nice speed through Spoon, doesn't he though, Expilo, and gets some decent traction as well. That just edges him a couple of tenths closer to the back of the Renault. Let's go back to this fight for P6. Ruben harassing the back of Florian. And he had a decent run last time. Here he goes again. Will he go down the inside at 130R? No, the gap isn't quite available to him. He's got an opportunity into either the chicane or turn 1. Ruben brakes late, locks up both front tyres. This invites LMG into a potential switchback. No, Ruben parks the car nicely there on that second inside apex. He had a good run last time as well, Ruben, on this straight. Will he be able to do it again? Again, the answer being no. Ruben runs a little bit wide there. Might have picked up a warning for that. I've just seen a screenshot that Communist sent in. Oh, Ruben's around! Oh, that's a huge crash! LMG tangled in that. Oh my god, oh fuck off. Unsurprisingly, that's a safety car. That was massive. And I just about caught that due to having a giggle at the fact there's no bodies in the cars that Communist sent. But that's a big crash, and it's the 4th safety car of the afternoon. Expilo pit. Expilo's off into the pit lane. They actually pulled an 11-second gap back to Pluto, who doesn't follow him in. And intermediate tyres go on the AlphaTauri. Oh, now this is a gamble. Florian goes in. Speeds. Well. Could actually take another look at that. That's where Ruben went wide, and then about 30 seconds later, we had the safety car. Yeah, just seeing how it occurred again. You've got Ruben really close to the back of Florian, out of there. This is where I start laughing, because I didn't think anything was about to occur. Ruben hits the back of Florian and collects LMG in the process. I didn't think they'd made contact on circuit, because they weren't anywhere near each other. Yeah, it just hit the back of him, collected LMG. Completely nothing LMG could have done. That's very unfortunate for him. But the race resumes. As we are, Matty, Pluto, Rundle, Expilo, the top 4. Expilo has gone for, now surely, the quicker intermediate tyres. If multiple drivers have gone for them, surely Jeff's been on the radio like, right lad, box. Box for the Inters. I mean, surely. There's no chance they're not quicker if multiple drivers have gone onto them. It doesn't look like the rain has eased at all, so I think it's just down to the water on the track. Lap 24 of 27. 4 laps remaining. We'll have a 3-lap sprint if the safety car goes in on this lap. And that will surely be very entertaining with Expilo about to fly through on the fresh intermediate tyres. We've also got Graham, Florian, Gogglesaw without a penalty. Aaron Ocon's gone for the Inters. He's behind 2 drivers that have not returned to the race. So Aaron Ocon is currently P8 and will get them very, very soon after the safety car restart, no doubt. Four safety cars, 1 virtual safety car, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wait, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 DNFs, 2 disconnects, 8 drivers remain. We've certainly been entertained, but we've certainly been bored by the amount of safety cars there has been, but welcome those that are joining us for the first time, have stuck with us throughout. The safety car is in this lap. Here we go. Rounding the final corner. Safety cars into the pits. And Matty Mumu gets us underway once more. But keep an eye on Expilo, who might start to be carving through the field. He's got a really, really good run on LSJ Rundle. He's going to put his car to the outside. And hopefully they don't make contact into turn 1. And he goes all the way around the outside. It's not going to be enough though. But can he get the traction? They're making contact through turn 3. Expilo can't quite get it done. But look at the difference in grip. Surely not. Wow. Expilo. Again, straightens the car nicely. He's not going to be able to make a move into Degner, but he's got to be very careful because, again, just observe and look at that difference in grip between the two cars. Again, it's exceptional traction from Expilo. And will he go down the inside? Ruddle covers it off, and there's not a gap there, surely. Rundle opens it up. And gets through into 3rd place. Wow. Next up, Pluto. And then he's chasing Matty Mumu for the race victory that he had under control until the first pit stop, where he lost out due to his 5-second time penalty. We're on board with Expilo. Both are lagging like mad. And will Expilo just edge in front into 130R? Is that a spin? No, he's kept it on the track. 2 more laps to go. Gogglesaw and Rundle has lost a few positions, surely with contact with Gogglesaw. And again, this is making me so nauseous. Can Expilo get it done? Yes, he can. Pluto backs out. He has another little look. .7 seconds is the gap between Matty Mumu and Expilo, Jam. Graham nudging Pluto through there. He's got to be careful. We can't just send him into a spin. That would be completely Graham's fault, because he's got to respect the amount of grip that Pluto has. He can't just push him through every corner. And look at this huge train forming for P3. Everyone is after this podium, but the person that is most likely to get it is Gogglesaw. Graham has a little look up the inside. Turn 10, now turn 11. Graham dives around the outside. Pluto retakes the position on the inside though. Goggle has a really good exit. They're side by side, and Goggle has a little look as well. And Expilo 5/10 on the back of Matty Mumu. We'll come back to that in a moment. Can Gogglesaw get it done down the inside of Spoon? You bet he can. Oh no, there's contact there. Pluto's forced off the track. Give this man a 5-second penalty. Florian Foley goes down the inside, and Expilo has taken the lead of the race. There's 2 incredible fights going on right now, and it's really, really tough to ignore. Look at this. Florian, oh, he's gone wide there. Aaron Ocon shifts himself up into P6. Pluto's around after contact with Aaron Ocon. And LSJ Rundle makes his way through. And that is surely game over for Pluto in this race. But for Expilo, an absolute genius call for strategy under the final safety car. Chose to make a pit stop. Ooh. And has overtaken 3 cars in a couple of laps. He leads the way on this final lap. Three-second time penalty for Gogglesaw. Let's have a look at the penalties. And that is the podium position bottled for Gogglesaw, as quite simply he had that in the bag. With the penalty situation, it's surely going to be handed to Graham now. A second in front with the same amount of penalties. But for Expilo, he's heading into 130R. And after last week, He's taken redemption in some style. Expilo into the final chicane. Penalty situation. Spot on. So he doesn't need to worry about that. Expilo crosses the line and wins in Japan with the fastest lap as well. He takes all 26 points. And Matti Mumu crosses the line in second. 15 laps done on those wet tyres. Then comes Graham, Gogglesall, Florian, Aaron Ocon with a massive timing glitch. We'll give Aaron Ocon back that P6, is it? Couldn't quite recall that penalty situation. I think he had 8 seconds, if I remember correctly. And that is game, set, match for Expilo, who lifts the winner's trophy on the top step ahead of Matty and Graham. Entertaining race when we were racing, but that was hella long with those safety cars. We'll have a look at the race time and the full results in a moment. Aaron Ocon was initially P6. So I'll have a little look into that, because I think he's been kicked all the way. No, he's P8 for now. He had 9 seconds of penalties. So I don't know. We'll go deeper into that later. 54 minutes and 43 seconds that race took. If that was Singapore, that would be well into the 1 minute due to its 31 long laps. 31 laps in the rain, heavy rain, Singapore. 5 safety cars, that would be about an hour and 20 minutes. Estimate. Expilo wins ahead of Matty, Graham, Gogglesall, Florian in the top 5. Well done to him. Rundle, Pluto, Aaron Ocon with a timing glitch. Tyres and Mr. Boca are DNRs and won't score any points. And all of the DNFs. There's a lot of them. But a huge thank you to everyone for watching today. We'll be back for a season finale in 1 week's time with Austria, where hopefully we'll have Saturday and Sunday races. But until next time, have an awesome day. Goodbye.